Hello everyone and welcome to episode 0 of the VGL-COM Let's Play series. Although I should say that this is kind of like 0.1. This is the second time I've had to do this. I had what I thought was a good mod list put together. No compatibility issues, no stability issues. Everything working well. Then I discovered that I had this weird hitching in my recording that I couldn't figure out and had to do an additional couple of days worth of testing, like a couple hours at a time, in order to work out what the issue was. Eventually I got that sorted out, got everything working again, felt quite pleased with what my setup was, and then I go to record the first episode, and the game hard locks and crashes every time during one of the cutscenes in the training mission, which, while I don't need the training to play the game, it does contain important story beats, and so I figured it would be a good episode 1 to play the essentially 2-part mission that makes up the training mission. So more testing ensued, and I couldn't quite figure out what the problem was. I had it narrowed down to a couple of possibilities, but after another like 4 or 5 hours worth of mod compatibility testing, I decided to basically just say screw it. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be going full force into the Long War 2 mod, which does many different things. It doesn't quite make XCOM 2 a different game, but it does change the way that you fundamentally play the game, and I like it in a lot of ways. It makes the main progression of the game a lot slower. You have to be a lot more methodical and careful, and there are new mechanics that encourage you to be more careful and force you to be more strategic, especially in the early game. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to do a Long War 2 playthrough. The Long War 2 adds new weapons, enemies, research, items, armor, tons and tons of stuff. So some of the things that I was using mods for, I have now removed. So I now have a smaller mod list, which hopefully cuts down on any future incompatibility issues and stability issues. I've been playing with this mod set for 4 or 5 hours so far on a non-recording Long War campaign. I've had one crash during that time, but I can handle one crash every few hours. And with frequent saving, that means that I won't lose too much recording data or time as I move forward if that happens. So I'm going to go through the mod list. Go through a couple of custom sort of rules or self-imposed rules that I have on myself. Both parts of this list were much longer in the first video, but like I said, the Long War adds quite a few things that I was using mods for anyways, and with the Long War's change in difficulty and making it easier to lose the game, I took out some of the special rules that I was imposing upon myself to make it more challenging anyways, but a couple of them remain. So let's go through them real quick. The first mod that I have, and these are not listed in any particular order. The first mod that I have is the Axe mod, which adds axes, a battle axe, and a tomahawk-like axe as melee weapons. I like axes. I'm a battle axe guy. That's what I play in most RPGs, so the inclusion of this mod is a no-brainer for me. Next, I have Captain Bub's accessory pack, which just adds armor customization and other outfit customization options. Gotta have me some berets. It also adds all of the XCOM 1 armor sets to the game, which is nice, just to add additional customization and variety. The third mod I've added is the slower avatar project progression mod. As far as I can tell, this still works with the Long War mod. I suppose we'll see later on if it actually does, but what this does is it slows the avatar progression, which is like the big bad in the game, and if it completes you lose. And it makes enemy points, like the way that the points build up, it happens slower, and when you do things to reduce the avatar progression bar, they have a slightly larger effect, and it's got some fine-tuning you can do into it. So like I've said before on the podcast recordings, and I'll probably say it a couple of times during the series, I don't like feeling rushed. I like to play these games very slow and strategically, and the Avatar project really puts a damper on that. The next mod I have installed is the Disable Timers mod. So the Long War mod changes the way that the timers work, but on the missions that do have traditional timers from the stock game, unless it's a main story mission, those timers now are completely disabled. So you don't have to rush through missions. Like, the Long War still utilizes the timer, but on a lot of the Long War specific missions, the way that the timer works is the better infiltration rating you get, usually the more turns you get to do things. So if you're taking your time, you still have plenty of turn timer, or plenty of time on the turn timer. So it's nothing to worry about in my experience so far. The next mod I have installed is called Stop Wasting My Time. It removes most of the little pauses that happen between actions, both yours and enemies, between, like, when someone, a character dies, things like that. It just like takes out lots of little pauses. It doesn't get all of them, but it probably cuts out 75-80% of them, which saves a lot of time in the long run when you add it up. And then finally, the last mod I'm using is the Commander's Choice mod, which allows you to choose the class specialization that your troops get once they get that first level up into Squatty. I know that you can do that with the training center, but I like just being able to say, hey, you're gonna be this now. So it helps with rounding out the squad, and plus all of the custom characters that I've created, I have a class in mind for them, and so I want them to be that class. That's the mod list. Now let's take a minute to go through the rules list. I am playing this as sort of a soft Iron Man. So what happens, happens. There's no going back. There's no reloading saves, except in the event of like a game crash or some kind of recording error where that I lose files and need to go back and redo a mission. So that will be available, but otherwise what happens, happens, and dead is dead. So whenever one of my custom soldiers dies, that's it, they're gone for forever. I do have the character or the soldier pool set to using both my custom created soldiers and randos. If a custom created soldier shows up a second time after they're dead, particularly in some of the Long War missions that just reward you with random soldiers, I'm going to keep the soldier, but I will change them so that they are not a previously deceased soldier. That way, I'm not breaking that rule. But in Long War, you need troops, and I'm not going to turn down any troops. So yeah, those are the mods that I'm using, and the sort of my soft Iron Man, soft man, hardcore regular, whatever you want to call it. Finally, tacked on to the end of this video, I went through and turned off all mods and did the first couple of tutorial missions so that you could check them out and see that story. When you start an Iron Man game, you cannot play the tutorial. So this is what happens, and if you're not aware of what happens, you can watch it here. If you are aware, or if you don't care, you can skip on to the next episode at this point. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Until next time, bye-bye now.
Excitement continues to build as city centers across the globe prepare for the 20th anniversary of Unification Day.
Thousands line up at the site of the Great Accord, celebrating the formation of the Advent Coalition.
Keeping with their promise to humanity, 12 new gene therapy clinics will be opening in select cities by the end of the new year.
Despite the attempted attack by fringe elements, operations at the new facility in Paris thankfully remain unaffected.
In response to the unprovoked intrusion on the eve of our most beloved celebration, the speaker reaches out to us.
A small number of dissidents again repeat the mistakes of the old world.
Striking as we celebrate the benevolent savior who time and again offers only friendship and compassion.
Yet these trivial actions could never break the bond between humanity and the Elders.
Peace peacekeeping forces have already made several preemptive arrests of known collaborators. Advent again assures all citizens that today's celebrations will continue as planned.
Perfect.
The Advent administration reminds you to report all suspicious activity to your nearest peacekeeper. Only together can we build a better tomorrow.
Approaching position. You were right. They've definitely got their hands full today.
Stay focused. Prep gate crasher.
60 seconds. Now.
Signal received. Loud and clear. Okay, Gatecrasher. Your turn.
Advent forces are swarming to the blast point. We need to move on the package before they figure out what we're up to. They're holding position. We're gonna have to go through them. Stay out of sight until we're ready to strike.
Copy that.
Remind me to thank the old man.
You and me both.
No! Crasher 2 is down! She's gone!
Damn it! You can't take risks like that. Watch your flanks.
So that's how you want to play it. Okay. At least we know.
She's calling reinforcements. Stop that. Transmission.
Central, reporting in.
You're late. What have you been doing down there?
Taking in the sights.
What the hell are these things?
They're us. At least there used to be. Human hybrid soldiers. Advent's reward for obedience and service.
We've all heard rumors. I just never believed it was true.
No one wanted to. But we find what we're looking for today. I promise you that's gonna change. Let's move.
Looks like that transmission went through. You have an Advent transport closing on your position.
You heard her. Cover the left side. Menace 3, you're up.
Hold up. You should check that body for salvageable gear. We need anything we can get at this point. Better move fast, though. I've heard rumors Advent rigs their stuff to self-destruct. Reinforcements just hit the ground.
They're getting nervous. Now I know we're in the right place. done. Fall back to our position.
Just go. I'll try to stall him here.
You should be able to cut right through the door's security protocols. They were never expecting anyone to get this close.
We're in.
Good. Let's go.
Moving to secure the package.
Let's hope our intel was good.
This is the place.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Looks like there's an access panel attached. If you get me a better look, I might be able to...
Next time. Let's get out of here.
The entire Advent security grid just lit up. Firebrand is holding nearby for evac, but it's now or never, Central.
Understood. We're on the move.
Got it covered. Fire in the hole.
Works for me. Almost there. Stay focused.
They're right behind us. Way too close.
Firebrand, this is Gatecrasher. We need an immediate evac. Get us out of here. Keep moving.
You don't need to tell me twice.
We're coming home.
There's potentially decades of atrophy to contend with.
Wish we had more time.
I don't disagree.
But as it stands now, we risk losing the patient if we don't begin the removal procedure immediately.
We're ready.
Good. Then let's get on with it.
Remarkable.
Just like 20 years ago. We were still calling it a war back then. We had no idea what was coming.
cerebral cortex.
Good.
Prepping for cranial intrusion. I've managed to identify the connection. Preparing to make final incision.
These readings are getting really erratic.
Of course they are. These implants were never designed to be removed. We are risking severe...
No plan B here, people. Do it.
Pupillary response normal. Vital stabilizing. Procedure complete.
Told them it would take more than that to keep you down. Welcome back, Commander. Glad to see you're finally coming out of it. Don't envy the headache you must have, though. Still, can't fault Dr. Tygan. Especially as no one's even attempted something like this before. Easy. We're still not entirely sure what they did to you. That chip was buried halfway into your skull. Lost a lot of good soldiers looking for you over the years. Almost gave up hope you were still out there. Acted on the intel as soon as I got word. Not sure what you remember, but a lot's changed. Did the best I could, but the last 20 years have been tough without you. You feel like catching up. Shen has the archive up and running on your terminal. Otherwise, I'd go see Dr. Tygan when you're ready. There's some things you should know. He'll be better at explaining them than me. It's damn good to have you back, Commander.
I heard you, Shen. When we get the thing, you'll be the first to know.
Attention. Unauthorized presence detected.
Commander, give me a second. Execute Echelon Protocol.
Attention. Senior Command Exchange confirmed.
I had wanted that to be a little more ceremonious, but we've got something.
A local resistance cell just located this hybrid magnetic power converter that Shen's been pushing us to find. They tracked the device to a nearby Advent convoy and are attempting to take it down. If we can bring this converter back in one piece, we might actually get this place up and running and give the aliens a real war for a change. The squad is prepped and ready to launch on your order, Commander. Just give the word.
Heading out. It's worth a look. We've got access.
Well done. Readings are returning to normal. Well, mostly normal. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Why are you all just standing around? It's perfect.